Hi, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about a book. This is a really interesting book. So when it comes down to these dogs, this is something that I want to say up front. It's easier for me to understand how to change the way I view them by understanding us as humans. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like a lot of the research in reality that we were doing with these dogs. And we found out like, hey, stuff with these dogs work and stuff with these humans work because of what we do to these dogs. But it's hard in my brain to like put things together when I'm thinking of dog, because when I think of dog, I'm not like sure what the dog is actually looking for. I can make some educated guesses. I could do some trials and struggles and tests and things, but I never really know. But when it comes down to like, say, a 5-year-old kid, it's very easy to know what they want because they're just going to simply say it. They're going to speak it out, say, hey, that's what I want to do right there. It's like no guesswork. You could look at them. You can say, hey, what is it you're looking for? What's going on with you right now? And they will just explain everything that's going on. So a lot of what I've learned to really just look at my dogs differently is by reading some of these books that are just super interesting. And this book here is called Punished by Rewards by, Alfie Kohn. I think that's how you say his name. It's a very interesting book because it goes down to the concept of, when I heard, giving her treats is punishment to the dog. And I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard before. But there's an entire book right here that there are like hundreds of studies, hundreds of surveys, just I don't even want to use hundreds, thousands that they've compiled together to explain how rewards are punishment. How is it the further that I just keep on looking for information, the further I keep on finding more about this information? This entire book, he's talking about the guy B.F. Skinner, the guy that everyone talks about in the dog training that has like everything figured out. You know, we're doing the whole concept of the operant conditioning, so we got to give them a reward to keep them to do stuff. We got to punish them to get them to stop doing stuff. And this entire book is going down the science and everything about the concept of why giving something a reward actually isn't the best thing for it. And actually, in most cases, it's actually the worst thing that you would want to do. This is a statement in this book that has just stuck with me, that it's going to stay with me. And I'm sitting here listening to it again right now because it's just something that was just powerful that was stated. Because this is the concept of why, for me personally, things have started getting easier and easier with stuff in my life. It's just, it's very fascinating. And easier in the sense of this. It's easy when you do it with especially kids, because it's just like, oh, duh, no, it makes perfect sense. But there's a kid that's getting out of his bed at night. And the parents are trying to figure out, how do I keep this kid to stay in the bed? He just keeps getting up. So there's two sides of it here. You can reward it to make it go away, or you can punish it away. Those are the sides that basically like science was to put at it. There's a third option, but these are the two options. You can say to the kid, if you stay in the bed, after the third day, I'll give you a cookie, a treat, a cake, or whatever. I'll give you a reward. Or there's the other side of it that says, if you get out of that bed, buddy, like I'm about to put hands on you, I'm gonna spank the butt, you better get into bed. Those are two options here. And in reality, when we look at it in the sense of like dog training, those are the only two options. You can reward it to figure out how to get it away, or you can punish it to figure out how to get it away. But in reality, both of those sides are both punishment, because there's a third side to this. Why is the kid getting out of the bed? Why don't we just simply always ask that question first? Why is the child getting out of the bed? So that we can address the issues on why the kid is getting out of bed, so we never even have to reward or we have to punish. It's just going to disappear because we're going to be able to satisfy the needs of why and what's going on. It's something that, like, I never learned in any of the dog stuff. I never hear any trainers even say, why is a dog reactive? They just say, oh, it's this. We just have to do this to get it to go away. We just have to do this to make it disappear. Why? Because it's different in every case. Every case is different. And this is the problem that I think we're running to with said dog. We see dog and we're like, oh, they're all the same. It's just a dog. As opposed to, why is that animal scared? What is terrifying that animal right now to make it have to respond that way? If you're going to try to give it treats to get it to get out of it, you are more than likely punishing the whole situation of what's going on here. You're forcing that dog to just continue to stay in that fear, never learning how to get away from it. And then if you're coming on the other side where you want to absolutely just punish the heck out of the dog and just keep yanking on that leash and just say, hey, stop that, get out of that, stop doing this. You know, you're also punishing that dog for not knowing why. The question of why, the word of why, the understanding of why is where we should always go first. Not just, oh, let's give it a treat to figure it out. Let's punish it to figure it out. In both those cases, more likely, you're going completely backwards. And that's why most cases, Most people's stuff is not getting anywhere. It's not getting any better. Because if you ask that, go to the child in the bed again. You go to the child and you say, hey, buddy, why are you getting out of the bed? He says, well, I really had to go to the bathroom. And I thought I was good, but I laid down and I'd relaxed. And all of a sudden, I got to go to the bathroom. The little 5-year-old's going to say that to you straight up. Now, if you come in and you punish that kid because you just hear him up and you said, I said to go to bed, and then you just punish him, where do you think that's going to go? If you say to him, just hold it till morning and I'll give you a reward if you don't get out of bed for holding it, you're punishing that kid. You're punishing that kid to have to force him to hold that and then give him not an option of saying, I'm going to give you a treat if you hold it longer. As opposed to just saying, hey, buddy, go to the bathroom. 2 days later, it's done. He sleeps all night. We have no issues no more. He got figured out. His system got deregulated. He needed to get a new flow going. Now he's no longer having an issue. Now he's good to go. 2 days later, because you said, oh, that's it? You just got to go to the bathroom? Okay, when you lay down, when you got to go to the bathroom, go ahead and just go to the bathroom. And then he gets a new system in, and everything is good to go. As opposed to, you sit there, and I'm going to forcefully make you hold it. Now the kid's not going to get good sleep anymore. Now he's going to start struggling in way other areas of life, all because he just couldn't simply go to the bathroom when he had to go to the bathroom. And then if you punish that again, you're going to terrify that kid. That kid's going to be terrified for the rest of its life and have a trauma towards just having to hold it and go to the bathroom. You're going to do some really negative things that are just going to be ingrained into that kid's brain that is going to destroy them. This is the thing where it makes it easy for me to hear about stories especially a parent-to-child concept, and thinking about it in the sense of the dog. If my dog is simply just barking because it's just, I don't know. I don't even know. It could be something silly, something just super silly. The fact of, that's the best way to get this started. Your dog is wanting to smell something, and it smells something in the wind, it smells something in the air, and it starts to pull you to go there. And then it's pulling you to go there on, I just want to investigate, I want to learn, I want to figure what this is. So now if you come in and you try to give the dog, oh no, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, give him treat after treat after treat, instead of allowing him to be able to express that smell, something that he needs that he just can't simply say to. If he could, he'd say, hey, mama, I just want to go smell this spot right here. Are we good? It's okay. I'm be right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not running away. I'm not going to chase nothing. I'm just going to go smell on this smell. But you're saying, oh no, please look at me, please. And you're punishing the dog from doing what it needs to do, what it has a desire that it has to do. Nothing destructive, nothing dangerous, nothing malicious, just a dog being a dog wanting to express its dogness. And then on the other side of that, you come in or you start yanking that leash and holding that leash and say, no, you can never this, you can never this, you can never this, you can never this. Straight up, you're just never going to get out of that because you never dealt with the why. What's actually going on? What is to the core is happening here? You're just quick to just try to do anything you can to make what you see in that moment disappear, as opposed to why am I seeing what I'm seeing? Because what you're seeing isn't the end result, it's the beginning. It's stages going on here that you're seeing. You're not seeing what's actually happening. You're just seeing trickle effects of things that are going on. Because what happens is, in most cases, that's why the sniff thing is pretty good, because after a while of not allowing the dog to be able to do such a thing, it starts to just get more and more rowdy. Now it can start wanting to drag you. Now you're having to put more pressure to keep it stay with you. Now it's wanting to lunge to go in to get into smell. I've seen dogs do this, folks. I see this every single day. Not every day. Every single day almost. I see this. I at least watch a video of it every day, but in person, that a dog gets close to something and it just drags you. And all it's doing is smelling. It drags you to go smell something. That's day after day after day of you playing the trickery of just not allowing the animal to be what the animal is. And I understand. You can say, oh, I don't want them to do that here. Well, then you need to show them that. You need to show them where you can and when you can't. You can't just say no and not give no options and not being able to communicate effectively to what it is that you're speaking to, and just no, just because. You're going to be fighting, you're going to be battling, because it keeps progressing. And then it'll progress to that lunge, then it'll progress to the dog starts to get all antsy, then the dog starts barking, and you're just like, what's going on? My dog is reactive. No, your dog just wants to do something that it's just needed to do. That is nothing that is crazy. That is nothing that is mean and evil. That is just something that is inside of the dog to have to do. And you not allowing the dog to be able to do that, now you're going to the point of my dog is displaying these crazy responses right now without ever asking why and where was the start of it. Because when usually this is just crazy to me, but it's not crazy to me. It makes sense to me compared to what I know today, but compared to what I used to know. When I go to ask somebody questions about your dog, I don't care about what I see there. I care about when you first noticed something was weird. When you first noticed, wow, this is weird. What's going on here? That's when we need to attack the situation and figure out what's going on in that moment. Not let's go attack the situation of the dog is barking, the dog is lunging, the dog is crazy, the dog is wild. No, who cares about that? That's meaningless. We need to focus on that first little time that you just had it and you was like, something's not right here. Something's not, what is this? What's going on right now? Then we can start to backtrack that even more. Because the first time that you notice it is the first time that straight up I can say is, the dog finally got fed up to a point of finally just saying something to you about it. It's like, it's like the child having to go to the bathroom. If he just gets, at some point, he's gonna have to do something to show you, like, what's going on here. Like, you're gonna find a wet bed, you're gonna find something wet on the floor, you're gonna find something's gonna be seen. But that part that you've seen isn't the part that we need to worry about. I'm not gonna yell at the kid because there's urine on the floor. I'm gonna figure out, why is this here? And this is the problem. They will yell at the kid because we saw the urine on the floor or he peed the bed again, without asking him, like, what's going on? You just lash out at that part right there and never even think about what's going on before. This is what I want more people to think about. This is what's made things in my life so simple. It's so simple with not only the simple animals, but my simple self as well. It makes my life so simple. It makes things easy, because I'm going to sit here and do something. So something happens and I react, I respond. I have to stop and say, whoa, why am I responding to that? What's going on inside of me? Like, I just watched a video this morning that really got me. It's the dude talking about his son, and it really got me because it's just tragic. And I have to stop and say, okay, why did I get affected by this? That ain't my family. That's just them over there. But why am I affected? Because there's something inside of me that's still there, that I'm still thinking about with that whole scenario, that I have to figure out what to move through. If I just attack that feeling or that situation in that moment and say, oh, why are you feeling this? That's not right. That's the wrong way to go in life. I got to figure out the other layers below what's actually driving me to actually have that said response that's coming out of me. That response isn't the core issue. It's just it's the end stages in reality. The stages where things are starting to get a little. Sorry, it looked like something big was walking back there behind me. Something big just moved? Felt big. Sorry, it's extra quiet out here today. There's not many cars moving. It's like dreary. They didn't call for rain for a couple days from now. It's super like misty. It's super sketchy out here. A little sketchy out here today. but even with that response of something feeling, that's not the what's going on, the other layers behind it. I got other things. I can talk about that stuff, but that'd have to be a whole different channel. I like talking about suspicious type stuff. Weird things that you see in your day that just don't quite add up, don't make sense. Like, I see this stuff all the time. And then when I start to research more about it, I start to, I notice it more. More and more I notice it. And that to me is kind of like I go deep into my, I don't want to say religious side, it's not religious side. My spiritual side of my Bible believing ways of just understanding that everything isn't what's seen. There's unseen things. And those unseen things can start to drive one to do things. But the main thing is what you're doing, that response that you're giving isn't a response out of, it's like there's other layers behind it. And once you figure out those other layers behind it, you're going to figure out why you're giving that response. What is it that's said triggering you? Because this is the thing that's struggling with people today. My goodness, everyone should read this book. I like this book because it's easy reading. B.F. Skinner's books are like, they are hard reads. They are, I don't want to use these words, man, because you wrote some good stuff, but they dry, they hard, they tough. They're scientific. I like reading the guys that going through his, man, what do you call that? Research, and just like making it so that, again, a fifth grader can read it and make it more appealing to the ears. And that's what the concept of how some people are on this planet. They can make complicated things sound very simple. So for me, I like to make complicated things from someone who simplifies it to simplify it even more. Again, that's my go-to, because I just, it's hard for me to read these like scientific books. You want to put a man to sleep. Give me a scientific book and I'll be asleep in about three sentences. And if I got an Audible about like 3 or 4 minutes, I'm gone. I'm like, woo, that was good. And then I'm just hoping, wishing, and praying that while I was playing, while I was asleep, I'm somehow still catching that information. And it's hard. It's really hard. But the thing behind this book is what makes it's easy to read. And it's not just some random dude that's just talking about some random stuff like me. He's got all the backing, all the science, all the studies, all the surveys, all the everything behind what it is that he's talking about here, what it is that's going on. Because the biggest thing is we have these responses, and these responses are not the thing that we should even worry about. Don't worry about that. You have to worry about, why did I even get that response in the first place? Why did that come out of me? And now we can get somewhere with figuring out how to be able to make that go away. That's how we're able to like do life-changing things on this planet in reality. This is the part of science that really should be, I don't want to put it like this, but I don't really do church stuff anyways, but this is the part of the science that should be in church, because it's the part that can actually help people out. Instead of worrying of why did this could help with domestic violence, for instance. Don't worry about getting hit and hitting. Worry about what is driving you to get to that point to do that, so that you can start to put layers away to figure out what's the thing that's actually starting it. Because a lot of times we don't even know it's started anymore because we're already at that lash out point. So if you could bring it back to figure out what's the start here, now you can start to put more information and more like work upon that start point. Because the start point, it's easy to deal with at that moment. It's easy when your dog is just kind of like is sitting there nudging and going to go smell on something, to just, oh, go smell it. It's easy at that moment. But when the dog is outside barking, snarling, lunging, doing crazy madness, it's much harder to deal with at that moment. But if we can just not even worry about that response that we see, but worry about what's leading up to be able to get to that response, that's how you're going to be able to have a key to fixing pretty much anything in your life. Anything in your life. Because we're so focused on, oh, I did this, why did I do that? Instead of just and trying to punish yourself or try to reward yourself to get out of that response, you actually just get to the point that you just find the core of, why is this even started? Why is this even here? Why did this even get going? Why is any of this actually even happening right now? These are the things that actually help people out, to actually give you the new work, the new habits, the new way of life to be able to get away from things that you used to do. Don't beat yourself up about something that you're doing. You're doing it from a response out of other things that are going on. And if you just try to attack that response, that reaction that you see, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to fix anything. You're just going to keep attacking it, because the only thing you can do is try to reward it, and which is going to punish it in reality, or you're going to punish it, which is going to punish it in reality. You're not going to get out of it. You're just going to have to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, as opposed to just getting completely away from all of it, because you've learned how to be able to find the things that are kind of like getting you to that point and attacking that situation, that time. When you start to get that I'm a little irritated. What do I do here? What do you usually do? You say something. So what do you do the opposite of? Do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing at all. That's why the biggest thing that I would always say, I haven't really said it much in the dog stuff lately, but literally doing nothing does so much. It does so much that when you see your dog just flipping out, freaking out, don't give them no treats. Don't give them no leash corrections or leash pressure. Don't do nothing. Wait for them to stop. Wait for them to settle. And then look at the dog and say, hey, what do you want to do? If that dog's starting to pull you somewhere, you just see what this dog wants right now. Just see what he wants. See what's going to happen. You just dedicate yourself 30 to an hour of just hanging out and just doing nothing at all and having no expectations. I don't know why, but it just seriously works. And it not only just works with the dogs, it works with your life. When you get to that point, you're like, I don't want to send this email. And you start typing away and you start doing this little hate type stuff in it. Do nothing. Stop. Don't send it. Wait. You don't need to do it right now. Just stop. Stop doing what you're doing so that you can recollect your thoughts and figure out, make sure that you don't go to that point. Everything. When you're going into work and you got this person that's just kind of irritating you, figure out what is it that irritates you about them so that you can start to understand like why this person irritates you. Then when you figure out the why, then you're going to say, oh, I'm actually cool with you now. Like I don't have any beef with you now. We're good. Everything is all right. It's interesting how you literally doing nothing compared to what you've been doing can just transform your life. But you don't want to do nothing. The way that you get better and better at that is doing nothing in the earlier stages before you get to that reaction. But especially when you get that reaction point. When you just get to that, I don't know what it is, but this stuff really works. It works really good with like getting frustrated and getting a little kind of anger behind you. Because you can start to feel it build up. Some of y'all folks, you're just quick. You're quick, man. You can hear something on a YouTube video and for 15 seconds in, and you just type a whole little hate little comment. You're quick to anger. It just comes out of you. But in that moment, that's when you got to stop and do nothing to assess the situation of what's going on. And the more and more that you do that, the longer you'll have of being able to like recognize what's going on here before you get into that said reactive mode. A reactive dog is coming from, again, I'm just seeing it, a reactive person. You're just quick to just jump and do something, as opposed to just like sit down and look and just like, everything's all right. Everything is good. Like there's nothing to worry about here. And then you could just be able to be, because this is the part with, especially working with dogs, but I know this with humans and especially children. The calmer you are, the more, I don't want to use this word, but it's the best word to use, compliance you're going to end up getting. because you're just being what you want the other part to be. And when you're doing that, you're going to see just like this beautiful thing start to happen. Sorry. You're going to see just some beautiful things just start to happen because you're going to be able to calmly look at the situation as opposed to being frustrated. When you're frustrated, your brain is just, it's scrambling. It's not thinking, it's not nothing. Your brain is scrambling. It is a hot mess. It is just destructive in reality. When your brain is just going. Why for me personally, if you're a cigarette smoker, just please ask why so that you can stop doing that because it scrambles your brain. It always keeps you on edge all the time. You're just like, I need. You're just always like needing that. You can't just have a moment of clarity to just do nothing. It's like, it's something, it's straight up the way I look at it. It's a drug that just gets you hooked and get you hooked and hooked and hooked so that you're just, you can't like focus on anything. All you can do is focus on that. And it's just it's like a demon inside of you that's just taking your life from you. It's just taking everything from you so that you can't do anything else but just focus on it. It's like, I got you. You're stuck to me now. It's really destructive because it gets you to get away from knowing how to be able to, for one, get out of anger, get out of frustration. Most folks I know use that stuff because of anger, because of frustration. Most people use alcohol because of anger, because of frustration. Most people do all these things because of frustration, because they're irritated, because they're anxious, because they're all these things. If you're using a substance like that to get away from those things, you're again, that's the positive side of it, saying you're rewarding yourself instead of punishing yourself. And then if you're in that loop with that, you're going nowhere. You're not going to make it. You're not going to get anything done. In a sense of trying to get your life where I know you want it to be. And if you're right now, I'm good to go. You couldn't possibly listen to my video this long, 22 minutes in at this point, and listen to anything I have to say. If you're the type of person that's like, I already got it all figured out. You can't, me and you we don't match. So everyone that's even here that listen to what I'm saying, you want to figure out how to be able to get things, your own self, stuff around you in a better place than where you are right now. And that comes down to not paying attention to the reaction that you see, but pay attention to the reasons on why you got to that reaction. It starts to come at that. Don't try to reward your reaction. Don't try to punish your reaction. You're going to just continuously stay in it because in reality, the reward is actually only punishing you more and more and more. And it doesn't make sense when I just heard that for the first time. But I'm now reading more and more books to really just understand like why. Why is it that way? Why is it actually destructive? Why is it a reward actually making you worse? Because they've done so many studies, especially on the workplace. This book is all about human beings. It's not about dogs at all. And this is what's neat about it because that's what all the work was with the operant conditioning was about human beings. It's not about dogs at all. Dogs are just the science lab rat. It's all that they are. It's all they were for these studies. Just a lab rat. And I could talk about mice and rats all day as well. I got a little beef with them going on right now. But in the workplace, they were talking about how giving the rewards actually makes people work less, makes them not work as hard, makes them not be as creative. The one thing that's major is the rewards take a creativity away like crazy out of people. And it's weird that's just the way that it is. And I'm going to continue to keep on reading more and more books to just keep understanding more of why. Why would giving someone a reward take the creativiness away? Because the number one thing that I just know up front in my brain, I'm thinking about that, is it makes you want to get it done faster. Not worrying about making it prettier, making it nice, putting more effort into it. You just want to get it done so that you can get the reward faster. So you'll do 100 projects of crap work just to keep getting those rewards, as opposed to doing one project that's really, really, really of good high value and get one reward. You'd rather get the 100. You're not going to do a better job to get one. No, you're going to do what's necessary to get just the basic, to get your reward as fast as absolutely possible. That's dangerous. That's punishing your own self, not getting yourself into a better place. Thank you. I think I got a sickness coming upon me. It's the first time I felt this way in years. More of an excuse to not go anywhere. I'm trying not to go anywhere this entire month in reality. Just stay out of the stores, stay out of don't even put gas in the vehicle, just stay out, stay away. Just be hidden. Focus more on my online work that I need to start to get done. I don't know what y'all, I always got something extra, something always going on. Something I'm always trying to figure out how to keep on working on to get myself to figure out more of what it is that I want to do. I'll be working these dogs, but straight up, that's not really, it's not me. It's not me. Like, I got good ideas and good concepts that I've learned and understood, but for me to like, give me your dog and let me keep it for 2 or 3 weeks to give it back to you, that is not me at all. I keep a dog for a year or two, and then I'll like give someone that dog at that moment. I could do that, but there ain't no money in that. that's just me doing stuff to just stay busy. Go to the shelter and get 5 dogs, and shoot, get 15, shoot, get 25 dogs, and just have them, take care of them, get them socialized to other dogs, to people, to the world. Just get them to be nice, good, sound, nice dogs, and just give them away. So I'm trying to figure out how to fund that with my other work that I got to get going on. The reasons on why I got to stay home more. The reasons on why everything is always going on. I've been seeing weird videos about this fog stuff in places people are talking about, and I wake up this morning like, man, we got it here too now. Put some paranoia behind you, huh? It don't ever look like this around here. It should be like a nice blue sky right now, actually. I don't know what's going on with my weather. But I hope everyone's all right. I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't know what it is. My face has been feeling really, really relaxed, really chill. I feel like I'm losing wrinkles even on my face at this point in my life. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on with that. I got so much more stamina. I'd be tired, but I got so much more, like, I'd be working too much. I hope everyone's doing pretty good, because this book here, I wish that everybody would read it and take the time, because you'll realize how much you're actually hurting people around you and your own self by trying to give them a reward, by trying to give them a gold star, by trying to give them even money, by trying to do anything, but just nothing at all. Because the more nothing you do, the more you're actually going to see what it is that you're looking for. The more rewards that you give, the more they're not going to do for you. And why? Question I'm still trying to figure out. That no one talks about why. We're just trying to, I think everyone's still trying to figure that out. Something weird about this world that we're trying to figure out. Thank you.